probably see a slight difference. So I have the polystyrene now laid on. I made the typical mistake. I forgot to hit record when I was gluing it down. I didn't record the cutting bit off screen anyway. It was just a couple of sheets, just a couple of cuts. So it's 855mm end to end. The width seems to be just about right. I mean, there's a couple of mil, I think 2 or 3 mil each side, which is fine. I put some sort of cover board around at some point once it's all finished, so that's not a problem. The polystyrene I'm using is this, so it's 25mm, just standard insulation. It comes in 2.4 meters by, I can't remember, I think 600mm wide, something like that, and like 25mm thick. So I have 2 layers of this for the baseboard at the moment. So the plan is I'm going to lay the track on here now, mark out where the track is, I'll mark off where I want the bridges to be, so I can then start potentially cutting underneath. I have 3D printed some bridges. I'm hoping it's going to be the right angle. I'll find out once the track's actually laid. So I do, because in theory there'll be a bridge here and here for 2 bits of track. So once the layout's on there, it should make more sense. I've 3D printed some tunnel mouths as well. Had to do again off camera. I didn't think about it at the time. I had to make a few changes to the tunnel mouths I was going to use because they didn't quite fit or they're too close to the track, and then also which is the back at the moment is towards you. It was overhung, so we should be fine hopefully. I'm also planning to motorise the points using servo motors. The plan is to use mega point sets. They have like a circuit board which comes with a servo controller board, and then it also comes with LEDs and switches for your control panel. I can potentially I have got 3 points, but I'm still sort of in the air. I may have motorised 2 of them. Again, once the track is laid out, I can explain a little bit easier. So I will go to a time lapse while I put the track together. I did have another bit of video that I recorded, which is me cutting up the track for the flex track enough, but it didn't quite come out as I planned. Obviously, because it's on polystyrene and not wood, not nailing in, there was too much flex in it. So I had a slight replan or redesign using Z-Track. So now it should be a lot easier to lay. So we'll get the track plan on and hopefully start getting some things marked out. Right, so the track is now laid out. This is gonna be the layout. I did do a little bit of testing on the board to make sure the trainers went around the corner. The ones I've got a slight problem with one. It gets hung up on this crossover because a little 060 tank, so I might just have to see if I can get a stay alive in that at some point. All the points seem to crossover fine, it's just this crossover is not happy with. So it was just a shock. The class 17 is fine, runs everything, no issues at all. So original plan, this side and down the bottom here, originally going to be, I was thinking maybe some sort of station, but with the tunnel mouth being right here and a wall on that is too small, so this will be some sort of siding. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do at the moment. So this will be the station. It's going to be more of a disused one, so it's mid-60s, so I'm saying no plan is Beaching's already closed this one, so hopefully some disused, but there'll be some sort of use to it, so there's a point to go to. And the one that's up this top corner over here, this will be a disused coal yard, so I might put some rusty wagons maybe on the platform, on the track, or leave it as it is and just have some piles of old coal, potentially, you know, some building around here, just some reason with it. So my plan is just to power this point and this point, because that way I can control it and I can then bring both the trains. So there'll be, the Class 17 will have some form of wagons on the back. Haven't decided quite yet what I'm going to put in it. Maybe just a fruit van, so like delivering fruit for the town potentially, which obviously going to be on the upper level on this side. Or it might just be coal wagons. There's still, you know, obviously being in Wales, there may still be some coppers open, so they'll be passing through. And then the other plan is for the little 060 tank I've got will be, it's like a visiting engine, so there's got a standard, just like a little carriage on the back for people visiting, doing some sort of rail tour of some sort. That's my idea anyway. So again, so this is the plan, is this does just fit on the corner. So there'll be a bridge here and a bridge here. I'm going to print two of these off and see how far around they go. See if it's going to be too big a gap, or potentially cut one of these down, so like 1.5 of these on these two. So there'll be a gradual hill going up, and it will run around this way. This will be actually, let's grab, what have I done with those? So these are the tunnel mouths. So they're actually, these are 3D printed and resin printed. I tested them with FDM first to make sure they were the right sort of size, and then did them with resin, so got better quality. All I've done so far is just prime these up. The plan is one will go roughly here. It's probably the wrong side for you. So there's going to be a like cliff edge on here, and then there'll be some sort of hill around here to a point. Because when the road goes under here, it'll need to wind up and eventually end up in the town section over here. There should be a slight turning to go into here to where this bit is, so they can get to the station building. And then this one, you can see on there, you can see it's a shorter one. So the plan is this should, if I measure it properly, will go to the very edge, around about there somewhere. I had two singles before, but they were too wide. But I think having the double mouth in there as well, and it looks pretty good. Don't know how well that's going to come out. Get it in the right place. Yeah, it didn't come out so well. Where's the light? There we go. But I'll probably do a separate video painting these up, so I'll do them on the desk so I can get a camera over the top when I've streamed painting before. So we'll get these coloured up. Not quite sure at the moment what colour I'm going to go for. I need to look at some sort of support footage, some reference footage for, you know, South Wales, what kind of rocks they're going to be, because obviously the plan is to have them roughly the same sort of colours. Obviously what's in any exposed rock, because obviously they would use what they've got in the area. There will be, on this side, there will be a hole in the side of here, because obviously this is going to be underneath the section, so there'll be a facer board that fills up the back. There'll be holes where to get through from the back, so I need to have some form of tunnel bit in, some tunnel liner. Again, it's a little bit further down. What I will do is all the models that I've 3D printed, I'll put the links to them, because they're all from Thingiverse. So I'll put those in the description below in case someone wants to print them off. This is the basic plate bridge. It's nothing fancy detail wise, but it was N gauge one. I can print them at one, and then eventually again we'll prime these up and paint these up when I've decided how many of these I'm going to need. I've got another one printing at the moment, and that'll give me an idea on scale. I think that's it for the moment. So what I'll do is, again, I'll go to time lapse. The plan is to mark out where the track is, because there will be cork going on here at some point. I don't know if we can do the exact size or if we can be slightly wider, because obviously bearing both sides of these, it's a very narrow board, they're very close to the edge, so I don't know if I'm going to have room to have a wider gap. I also need to mark off where these points are going to go, because 001s, they're holes in the middle, but on end gauge it's on the outer side, so either side of where it is, there's a small hole. But I have 3D printed these, which I modeled up myself. It's based on the standard 15mm square sort of channel. So the plan is they will fit inside there. The Mega Points system, the guide they go through is by using aluminium channel, but got 3D printers, so I'll just 3D print them myself. There's a hole in the bottom, so again I'll add I'll do a video about when I start doing this, the points and stuff. I'll do a link to the Mega Points section. It's pretty cool, the stuff they've got. Actually, to be fair, the other stuff, all the bits they've got for it now, but it's a very basic layout. I just want to be able to little flicks and points. I can do a little mimic board to have them on, so they'll be visible. But so the plan will be, I don't really need to glue them in. I played around with multiple different sizes, like did the normal 15mm and they were too loose, 11 was too small, 12 was too big, so it's like 11.5mm for these servos anyway. I had some left over from a previous project, but the plan will be, so there'll be a cut hole in the polystyrene, so in theory it's like underneath where the hole will be, and then I'll drill a hole through the polystyrene out the bottom to drop the wires underneath, because there'll be a control board obviously for that. So I need to think about this while I'm here, because normally you can just put them on and then you attach them to the bottom of the board, but because I'm doing it on polystyrene, I don't have that option. But I think it's going to work out. I mean, it's not actually this using the normal sort of solenoid ones, so they have a bit more torque to them. They're moving very minimal amount, so I can't see it being a problem. He says, will it be foreshadowing? I don't know. I'm saying I've never done points this way. When I've done my 00 stuff, it's always been standard servo ones, which you attach either under the board, which are a pain enough anyway to try and get lined up, or on the top hiding under the little buildings that the Hormy dude put over the top of their one. So, right, enough waffling. Let's go to time lapse, get everything lined out, and try and think of an idea where to put this bridge. Did notice after outlining of the track, I thought I need to mark off where the road's going to go and up to top section, so I'm actually going to get the top layer roughly lined out so I can work out where the road's going to run before I start carving out. So I basically put the bridges down here roughly where the road's going to come in, so there'll be a section just off this corner, so come under the bridges, loop round up this way somewhere and up onto the top section. So I need to mark off where the tunnel mouths are going to go, and then mark off where potentially like a cliff edge will be. This bit of cardboard is roughly the width of End Gauge Road, so give me an idea of I can trace round. I had to do a slight tweaking on the bridges, because originally I had a double ridge over here, but I think it's going to take up too much space, or it'll be too far back, so not really enough edge, so I'll go for a single double ridge, double tunnel even I should say. So I want to get these marked off. I've got my coach on here so I can line up to make sure it's not going to catch the edge of the tunnel mouths. That's the plan anyway. So I will move over a time lapse on that bit, me marking off the tunnels and potentially the road. So I drew out a rough idea where the road was going to be, and then remembered I've still got the tram line which will be on the upper level, which I've now put on place here. So you can see the road with the tram will go over the road as well. I've got a couple of these I've 3D printed up ready as well, so I can have a couple of these to go over to the road underneath. So I just need to bring this more straight so you can come up, and then potentially up over here, because on here will be the city, and then there'll be a road to go over this bit of track here, and there'll be like some tunnel entries around here at some point. Just need to bring them out a bit more. So I think what I need to do first is get some polystyrene blocks in place so I can get the level stepped up. Just lay a bit of flat polystyrene on top so I can get the city level at the right level, and then I can then look at making a route up for this road. Probably along this cliff a bit more potentially, because in theory there will be a cliff here, because obviously you've got the tunnel mouths here. That's going to go right at the top of that, which is should be fine, he says. I've still got to think about putting cork underlay yet, but the main thing is just trying to get rough out of the road and then get the ramp up to the right level. As I was cutting and placing this bit of polystyrene, I realised it wasn't sitting square to the back. When I spun the board around, I realised there was a gap. So I'll add some extra strips across the back to make the board a bit wider. I also realised I didn't record an outro, so thanks for watching and catch you next time.